Hey guys, Darren here, and this is actually my first video in almost a whole week. I'm going to be basically going through what I've sold. Also, I have a couple of questions I need to answer, and also an update on a game that I bought a while ago. First of all, sales. Now these have all been over the last 6 days. I've actually got 4 here to show you. Was this 3? Four here to show you. The rest have already gone. I sold both of the little Nestle Spiral figures. I basically bought a whole bag of random toys, just generic stuff, in my large charity shop haul video, which was a few videos ago now. And I think I bought the whole bag for like 99 pence. I sold both of these for £9.99 each, which is exactly what I said I'd get from on the day. But went to different people, but £9.99 each. I sold the puzzle ball, which I bought for £1, and I showed that in my same video. That went for £9.99 and £4 postage. And in fact, the Nestle figures, I also got £4 postage on those as well, and they were tiny, they're only little. So yeah, the puzzle ball bought for £1, sold for £9.99 and £3.99 postage. I sold a Spyro, or another Spyro plush toy. I'm actually completely out of them at the moment. However, one is currently coming back to me because I listed them as 6x9 in size. And a guy basically contacted me today saying, can I return the item please, because the item is not as described. I asked him why, and he said, this is unbelievable. He said the item is not 6x9, the item is 6x8.5. But then he did go on to say, at a push, if you include the little spikes on the end, which I did, it does add up to 6x9, but it's not what he expected, so could he send it back? So I said, yeah, no problem, send it back. I can resell that, that's not a problem. And what else have we got here? My last Metal Gear Solid sold. That went for £22.99. I dropped the price on that one. I actually bought that for 17, so not much profit. And we also have, if I can find the page, here we go. Right, I also sold, now that's what I call music. This was a 6-pack, and it was now 6, now 11, now 12, now 13, now 22, and now 23. And they went for £9.99. Free postage, because to be honest, they were actually very light, so it only cost me a few quid. They were part of like a massive pack I bought a while ago. I got 15 tapes for £15. So these ones don't really sell for much, like £1 each, something like that. So I bundled them up, got a tenner. I sold an issue of FHM magazine for £6, and it was issue 229 with Katy Perry on the front. I sold, this was actually a great, I was really quite happy with this. In my large, no, it wasn't my large charity shop haul, or was it? I can't remember. But in one of my charity shop hauls, I showed you a Small Soldiers smart chip pack from 1998, and it goes along with the smart chip reader, which I didn't have. But I saw it on a shelf. And I can't remember if it was like 50 pence or £2. I can't remember. I can't remember, but it was around between those kind of prices. And that surprisingly went for £10 and £4 postage, which I was quite pleased with that, because I didn't really know much about it. I bought it on a whim to see how it went, really. I also sold Now 5, which is actually over here. Now 5, which once again was all part of that massive pack. And that incredibly went for £12. Just that one, £12. Bear in mind, I paid 15 for all 15 of these. So I was quids in when I bought these. So yeah, that's £12. I sold the Zazu Disney Lion King plush toy that I showed you, the white bird one with massive wings. That went for £8 and £3.99 postage, and I think I paid £1.50 something like that for it. That was another spiral, but I've already said that I've sold out of them anyway. So I sold them for £8.99 and £3.99 postage, by the way, and I paid £2.99 for them when I buy them in bulk. I sold the Dan Busters Lancaster figure with the postcards, and this was actually in a very early video of mine. Basically what I did was I'll show you on the back here, was Atlas Editions, and what they do is they offer like introductory prices. They offer you things like that for £1.99 introductory price. You get it, and then you have to cancel the rest of the collection, otherwise you keep getting them every month for like £20–25. Cancel the collection, pay you £1.99. They give you a payment slip to send off your payment, but to be honest, they always claim that they never received it, and then suddenly you get a bill for 30 quid like a month later. But I actually called them up and I said, look, I want to use my debit card to pay you, and they had no problem with that. So I paid them £1.99, and I've just sold that for £10 and £4 postage. So I'm cool with that. These are all booked in, ready to go tomorrow. So with Herms. Finally sold this. This wasn't as big an earner as I hoped for. The Pop 20 Jimmy Savile game. For those of you that haven't seen my early videos, or at least when I bought this, I bought that on Gumtree for £8, and the same week this game sold on eBay for £75. And it was up for £95, but it said all best offer. I contacted the seller and he was nice enough to tell me exactly how much he got for it. He's actually a games collector, and he does this. He does what we do, but just with board games and rare ones. And basically I thought, you know what, if I paid £8 for that, if I got 60 for it, I'd be well happy with that. It did have a bit of damage. You know, it's got a bit of damage to the box, just to the top of the box. Where is it? There. Can't quite see it, but there where it's coming through. And I'm sure there's another bit somewhere, but I don't know where. It's complete, but it has got a bit of damage, as I say. So I had it up there for 60, all best offer, nothing. Dropped it to 40 quid, nothing. Dropped it to 20 quid. Well, actually, I did kind of go with £30 for a little bit first, but once again, no watchers. There was people viewing it, but no watchers. Ended up dropping it to £20, and it sold. So to be honest, I'm happy with that, because frankly, I've had that staring at me for a while now. So I'm happy to get rid. To be honest, £20, doubled my money. I'm good with that. Because I bought, the same day I bought this, I also bought the Miss World game, which I actually sold for 30 quid or 40, might have been 40, and I paid £8 for that as well. So so anyway, I'm happy to have sold that. That went for £19.99 and £3.99 postage. And I sold this little game here, which was 50p. I paid for it, and it's called Pass the Pigs, and it's complete. These are probably going to fall out, but they it is complete, and you get the little pigs and You get the instructions, the original pencils, everything. 50p I paid, and I got £7.99 and £2.99 postage for that. To be honest, most people are listing them for a tenner, and the ones that have sold are going for a tenner, but I just couldn't shift it at a tenner, so I needed to do something that made mine stand out a bit. So I dropped the postage cost by £1 and dropped the actual price of this by a couple of quid. I paid 50p, so to be honest, anything I made was always going to be profit. I did actually make a slight mistake with this. I had a guy contact me about 3 or 4 days ago, saying he said, "Man, you're really optimistic for that game, aren't you?" So I looked and I thought, well, it's only a tenner. What's he on about? It's £10 is average for that. And he said, "Man, there's no chance you're going to get what you want for it." And I thought, well, everybody else is, so why not me? Then I realised I'd accidentally priced it, instead of £9.99, I priced it at £999. So of course that's why, and lucky enough, I mean, I wouldn't have noticed. So I thanked him. I said, "Oh, thanks. That was obviously a typo." He laughed. We laughed about it after, but yeah, £1,000 I put that on for. And also, lastly, I forgot to actually bring it down here to show you. It's up there. I'll quickly turn it around and show you. It is the Transformers Bumblebee helmet, just there. And I sold that for £12.99. Reason being is I had it up there for 20 quid, and it sold no problem. Then the guy said, "Oh, sorry, can I cancel this?" As I didn't realise it was used, which I've spoke about in my last video, or one of them, which annoyed me because I paid £3.50 for that, so getting 20 for it was fantastic. And I'm offering free postage on that because it's very light. It's a bit bulky, but because I use Hermes, they go by weight anyway, so they're not really fussed about the dimensions, unless it's like a stupidly big parcel. Basically, I was listing it for £14.99. I dropped it by £5 because of the, not damage, but there's bits missing off the top, which is explained in my auction. And someone randomly messaged me, some lady, and basically said, actually no, sorry, it's a guy, and said, "Would you be willing to accept £13 for this?" So I thought, well, I don't have a best offer, but it's only a couple of quid off. To be honest, I'm happy to get rid of it for the second time, because it is quite a bulky item. So I basically said, yeah, no problem, I can take that. I didn't have best offer on it, so I basically just revised it, put it down to £12.99, and just messaged the guy saying it's up there now for £12.99. So if you want it, great, but you got to be quick because someone else might take it. And I believe that's the same guy that's messaged me, so either way it's gone for £12.99. Also, I'm just going to quickly show you this, which is in my once again, I can't remember what video it was, but I showed you this game, which is basically Murder a la Carte, mystery dinner party game, and it's the Murder in the, you can't really see it, but Murder in the Orient edition. This is the one that, unfortunately, it goes for like 15 quid, between 13 and 15 quid. Unfortunately, it was incomplete, and because it's an old game, I wrote to the guy and I said, look, in the game, there's a little leaflet that says, if you're missing any parts, email us, we'll see what we can do. I messaged the guy and he said, look, I'm not being funny, mate, but it's like an 11-year-old game. We just don't have those parts anymore. And I said, it's no problem. I fully understand that. I can't complain too much. It is an 11-year-old game. This comes with a cassette that you have to play, which kind of gives you clues and hints, or like a musical backdrop or something. So that shows its age. It's not even CD. So I said to him, that's fair enough. But at the end, he put, look, if I ever see any parts that you need, I'll email you in the future and let you know. So I said, okay, cool, no problem. To be honest, I thought he was just being nice. But he actually emailed me. He emailed me about 3 days ago, saying, basically saying I've got the tape, I've got the player names, and I've got the invitations that are in the game. They're in the box, I should say. I've got them here. I found them. If you want them, I'll send them your way. So thank you, brilliant. I said. So that's pretty cool. So that's one thing to remember. If you have got an incomplete game, even if it's old, I mean, within reason, if it's vintage, if it's like 70s or 80s, don't bother. But if it's, you know, noughties upwards, have a check. Email them, see if they've got the bits. But the reason why I'm showing you this one is I actually bought this. The one that's incomplete, I've actually got two of these now. The one that's incomplete is over there. And that was bought for £1.50. I managed to buy this for £4 on eBay, complete. And I'm going to show you what it's supposed to look like when it is complete. Well, I had those in the last version, but what we have got now is the secret clues. We have all the invitations now, which I didn't have before, and they're not written on, which is great. And I have a nice clean set of player names or place names. You get envelopes for the invitations. These are basically like secret clues, and these are like the instruction depending on what player you want to be. So we've got Xena Spooner, Bruce Lee, party planner. That's something different. Moosey Tongue, Suzuki, Lady Marmalade, Peking Tom, Reverend Al Spooner, and Wonton Willie. So yeah, that's what you get in the game. And most importantly, of course, is the cassette tape. Now, what the guy is sending me is basically one of these. He's sending me the invitations that I'm missing, and also, although I had these in the other version, they had like food or something that had been spilt on them. So he's sending me a set of these as well, which is cool. So full credit to that guy. I don't know if he'll ever watch this video, but if he does, nice one, mate. That was really nice considering that it's like an 11-year-old game. Let's get this box back up. There we go. Right, so they're the outgoings. That's the game update. I don't think there's any incomings. No. Had unfortunately a bit of a down period with the big box of games I bought. I've gone through them properly, and unfortunately, like half of them are incomplete. And annoyingly, two of the ones that go for quite a bit. The Busy Buzzy Bumbles is incomplete. There's like one. What it is, you kind of put the bees around your head, and they hang there as you play the game. Unfortunately, one of the bands are missing, which I might be able to get. I'm not sure. I've not looked on eBay yet for the spares. Frustration, there's like one pin or something missing. One little red part. I can't remember what it is, but one of them missing. Crystal Maze, which was really annoying. There's like a whole section missing. There's a little like dome that you can press down on, and that's just not there at all. Which is annoying because that's like a £25 game if it's complete. 22, 25, which is really what I bought it for. There's still money there. I paid 15 quid for the lot. I'm probably going to get back about 70, whereas before I was hoping for about 110. So yeah, I still might be able to get it in dribs and drabs if I sit on the parts. I'm not sure. So it's annoying, but you know, the atmosphere game is pretty much mint. the Blockbuster and also the Blockbuster Gold Run games I can bundle up and get 15 quid for, which is basically paid for the box anyway. So it's not bad. It's still money, but not as much as I hoped. A couple of things I've actually threw away. The workbench, Tyco workbench, or something workbench. There was just no money in that at all. It was scratched. It was dented. It was used, majorly used. So I just put it in the bin. Because to be honest, I didn't even want to put that back into a charity shop because it was in pretty bad state. And also the Command Fortress thing that I showed you, that was way incomplete. There's supposed to be 100 parts. There was 5. There what you had the main command center, but there was a shelf missing that went inside. There was 100, no 90, I believe 90 soldiers missing. They're easy to replace. You can just buy, I think it's can't remember what they call them, Axis and something else, but Ally and Axis soldiers you can just pick up in packs. But there was also an F-117 stealth fighter missing. There was a Jeep missing, a tank missing, and also an Apache helicopter missing. Which once again are only the cheap toy soldier plasticky ones. But buying all them bits and then putting them in, buying all the soldiers, putting them in. I don't know I don't know how much all them are going to cost, and secondly, I don't know if there's actually any money to be made in the whole set because none of them are on eBay anyway. So I decided just to ditch that. I couldn't even put that back into a charity shop, so I just put that in the bin. I'm not worried because they were just part of the bundle anyway. I never bought them separately. So, and also there was a few questions. The main question for people was, am I still doing this? Well, obviously, as you can see, I am. I basically, just like I said in my last video, really, I can't do this full time in my current situation. Situation being not enough space to put stuff, and not a car to actually pick up the more valuable stuff that I can get at car boot sales, etc. So I'm stuck in that limbo moment where I've got stuff, it's selling, it's making money, I'm still loving it, but it's nowhere near going to make enough for me to live on. So, so the only difference is instead of full time, I'll be doing it part time, which is why really I'm making a video once or twice a week now, rather than, well, to be honest, it was every day before. So the other question was I obviously explained that I'll be sort of heading back into internet marketing a little bit, just to kind of, help with finances while I'm also doing this. And the main question was, what am I doing as far as internet marketing? At the moment, there's a couple of things, or really a few. There's actually 3 things that I'm doing internet marketing wise, maybe 4. I'm not sure. The first one is I'm going to make some more courses. I actually have a course on how to sell promotional videos to local companies, local businesses, on a website called Udemy, udemy.com. And basically it's just where people put business courses and informational courses on there for a set price. Mine was like $50, which is like about 32 quid, something like that. But to be honest, there's also deals and stuff that Udemy send out to their fan base or member base, sorry. So I was thinking of doing a couple more of them. I could put on another 4 or 5 of them in a month. The money's been pretty good. I mean, on one course I make like, I don't know, 40 or 50 quid a month just on one course. So if I throw on another 4 or 5, that could be another 120, 140 quid a month. It all helps, that's only one avenue. There's also like a kind of designy type one I'm doing where I basically get in contact with local organisations. I say local, but really it could be global. It's just when I say local, I just mean that I'm concentrating on one area. You know, I've done work for companies just up the road for me in Chelmsford. I've done work for companies in Canada, Australia, also a lot of mainly obviously UK, Reading. I've done there's a website called Reading Man and Van, which is basically just a man and van hire. And he's got a video on his front page which I made, and I sold that to him for 200 quid. So yeah, but anyway, yeah. So I work with local businesses and companies, and organisations, and what I'm doing is at the moment it's like a kind of joint venture. I basically go up to them and I say I can make you a little bit of money. Doesn't cost them anything. I design a T-shirt for their fan. Usually it's organisations that have a message to send out. So for example, it could be like humane societies, or it could be anti-cruelty to dogs, or something along them lines. And what I do is I create a T-shirt with a slogan on a dog, or maybe one of their choice. I create that design, and when they're happy with it, I can basically, through people I know, I can get that T-shirt printed and sent out very, very cheaply to their customers. But I have to get them on board, because what they do is they obviously send out the fact that they've got this T-shirt, and it will help. Obviously, all of their profits go to helping cruelty to animals, or whatever their cause is, and all they pay for is basically the price it costs to get the T-shirts printed and stuff. And the people I know give me a cut of that. But they get I think they get like a good 75-80% of the profits. So they're happy. I mean, I've had some. I've even worked with some charities that basically insisted that they give me 50%, and I'm like, well, you're a charity, and they said, well, without you, we wouldn't have got our 50%, so we're happy to give you your share. And what I tend to do with that is I give half to charity myself, and then I keep the rest. So so there's that avenue as well. And there's also, I have like a mobile kind of business going as well, which is I create mobile websites for companies who don't have one. And depending on how big the company are, I would basically either say, look, I'll charge you a one-off fee of say £100 to make the website, and then it's a monthly fee. So I'd say like £10 a month you pay me to basically maintain it for you. If you need any changes, or just to basically keep the site going, because the last thing I want to do is give them the website, and then of course I'm out of, that's it, they don't need me anymore, they can run it themselves. But I mainly target local businesses, smaller companies that maybe don't quite understand how mobile internet works. The fact that most people search for websites on their mobiles nowadays, or their tablet device. It is quite important for companies to have a mobile version of their website nowadays. So I make them. And the good thing is, when I was doing this full time, I think a lot of people was put off by my pricing. So I'd say like £100, and then say £20 a month to maintain the website. And they'd say that's just too much. We only want a cheap website just so people can know where we are. But because I've now got the eBay side, I'm not reliant on my internet marketing. There's no pressure on me to make money with internet marketing. So it would kind of mean that I'd have it a lot easier. It wouldn't be as boring for me. I wouldn't get as stressed and pressured that I used to get with internet marketing. Because it would that would also be now part-time for me, where I'm combining them all together to make one full-time income. So now I could easily say, £50 one-off fee, or even £20 one-off fee, and then just £10 a month. And they'll, to be honest, they'll probably take that. So, and also the last revenue is something I can't remember. The courses, mobile, Udemy. I can't remember what the other one was. Oh, I know. Basically, one of my last um, products I made was something called Whiteboard Video Marketing, or Whiteboard Video Marketer was the website. And basically what it is, I created 5 animated videos advertising a certain business or company, or um, things like builders, dentists, landscape gardeners. Can't quite remember the others, but it was like those kind of stuff. And what would happen is people would be able to buy these 5 ready-made videos, and then they could in turn sell those videos to other people to make money. So they'd buy them from me for say $10, and then they'd sell them to their clients for $100 each. So clearly there's a lot of money to be made. And I made about, well, just over $1,000 in a day, in one single day or one single afternoon with that product. It's very popular. Other marketers love buying those and then selling them on, as I say, to their clients. So I'm thinking of knocking one of them up. It actually only cost me, I think it was $50 to actually get made. And obviously, as I say, I made over $1,000. So it's a bit hit and miss though, because some of my products didn't make anything. I mean, one of my products made $37 in a week. So it's hit and miss sometimes. But yeah. So those are my avenues for. I can't remember. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name who asked me what I was doing, but those are basically what I'm doing. They're my 4 product lines, or my product money making products anyway. But yeah. So really sorry this has gone so long, 32 minutes. Not sure when my next video will be. There will probably be, I don't know, maybe end of the week. Maybe giving you some more ideas of what's sold recently. But anyway, thanks for watching. I've got to get these packaged up, ready for tomorrow. I've also got to be up at 6 a.m. and it's already gone midnight. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch up with all your guys' videos probably tomorrow or the next day. And yeah, hope you've had a good weekend. Have a great week, and thank you for watching. Cheers.